The Nigerian game is going to rule the football world in the next decade and maybe beyond. The reasons are very simple. More Africans are playing in European leagues. They're stronger. They have a little more technique. And they have a little more perseverance because as an African kid, you don't learn to play football on the synthetic turf, or you don't learn football with well-primed grass. You learn it the hard way on the street corners.
When I was growing up there, everything I do, everything I want to do then is play football, you know. Before you go to school, when you wake up in the morning, you start kicking some cups on the road, kicking all that. You want to play football.
There's a lot of people in Nigeria who virtually wants to do the same thing you want to do. So when you have like 20 people who wants to do the same thing you want to do, so you have to do the best. And so this is what makes it more difficult. If you can make it in Nigeria, actually, you can make it anywhere.
In my days, you know, going professional in football was thought to be, they thought football was for outcasts, people who could not succeed in education and who didn't have anything to do, and they went and played football. There wasn't much money. And suddenly the world has changed.
Everybody want to make life out of football now. The young boys from school, from the streets, everybody's looking at the other professional players as idols.
Now football is business. Football is bringing out something. So they want to get that something now.
Professional football is now seen as passport to fame, to fortune, to paradise.
You know, back in Nigeria, it's not like in Europe, you know. You have academy that provide everything for you. Back there, you have to provide everything, even to the water you drink, you provide it yourself. You pay for your transport to go for a game yourself. You have to buy your football kits yourself.
We don't have youth teams like everywhere in Europe where they have good academies and all that. You grow from the youth team to the first team. Nowhere in this country. So what we're trying to do is to bridge a gap where young guys will have a chance to show themselves at an early age, you know, so that's where this academy is all about.
Like in Brazil, in the UK, they have academies, like they're training these boys from like when they're like 6 years old, you know, so they build them into becoming like professional footballers. Most of our guys, like, it's just from like the road.
Before I went out in Europe, I was told that before the foreign teams are going to sign you, you must do better than their own kids. You must do double of what their kids are doing. So I had that mentality to always work.
When I think of Naija swag is edgy. Edgy, is rugged, is authentic. It's the way we dress, it's the way we carry ourselves, it's the way we speak, it's the way, you know, we move.
Naija swag is just a confidence. It's just a confidence that even if I don't know what I'm supposed to be doing, no one's gonna know.
The confidence comes from, you know, when you've been through a lot, so nothing is gonna be new to you.
Well, I call it the unbreakable Nigerian spirit. That's just really what we have.
Everywhere you go, you see a Nigerian, you know that they are hustling, they're trying to make things happen.
any corner of the world you'll go to, you'll always find Nigerian people there. So I think that's the spirit that people have, the real togetherness, you know.
We've been told that 1 in 5 African people is a Nigerian. So I believe Nigerians are going to take over the world, one way or the other.
Our style is related to our physique and our environment. And so on the field of play, you discover that the sides of the field are where you have enough space to run. So we play along the touchline.
I think that's what Africans are. We're fast, we're very strong, and that's the kind of advantage we have in other European countries. So that was like our weapon.
The passion with which we follow the game, with which we play the game, and the extent that we go to win games, particularly when I was a football player at club level, I got to know the deep-rooted traditions. I knew all the imams. I knew the prophets in different churches. I knew the traditionalists in terms of juju and all of that, because everybody would come and make their contributions towards a team winning against another. And the bigger the match, the bigger the level of spirituality that you go to get a team to win. That describes to you how we follow football in this country. The depth of it, the passion with which you follow it, I think is the most defining factor. During the Civil War, Pelé visited the country. Pelé was the greatest player in the world at the time. And the war was on. And he came, and 2 teams were to play in Lagos. And the war actually was stopped, was halted, so that people can go and listen to radio commentaries. And all over the country, people stopped. The war actually stopped for over 2 hours that match lasted. Every Nigerian is a follower in one form or the other. There are those, that army that goes to the field to watch live games. There are those that stay at home, glued to their television sets. There are those, they are the largest majority, those that go to viewing centers. Passion, passion, passion.
You are welcome to Nigeria.
Nigerians understand themselves as global players. Nigerians don't understand themselves in the context of Africa alone. Nigeria is a very young nation. About 60% of our population is below the age of 20. So it's very vibrant.
It's so powerful in terms of the creativity that we see all around. I mean, there are things happening all over the place. There's, of course, we know the obvious, music, and there's drama, there's basically everything. There's fashion. Culture generally is happening right now. Nigeria has always been such a powerful place, particularly now, because of the energies of the young ones.
I just want the youth to do something to come out of their hiding. I want them to break out, to break the boundaries, to think outside the box, to do what has never been done before. We're doing this now, but I want the youth to do better. People that are coming up behind us, let's say our younger ones and the ones that are upcoming, I want them to do better. I want them to look at Nigeria from outside and say, oh, this is a country, this is mad, I want to come here.
Nigeria is a multifaceted, multi-layered society, which means everybody has the experience of difference. So we can function anywhere. I've traveled in different countries, and whatever you see a Nigerian person is usually thriving. Whether legitimate or illegitimate, is thriving in some way.
I think in Nigeria today we have a lot of advocacy and awareness going on about gender equity, gender equality, and I think the Nigerian woman is beginning to understand that there's self-empowerment, self-growth is very important as well. So having a team, an all-female team, pushing to get to the top is very important.
Don't waste time with the ball. No, control and pass. We go.
Like I say, what men can do, women can do more better. In terms of the game, yeah. The girls, they are really coming up.
When they see you succeeding in life, it's normal for them to embrace you. That's life generally. And my parents, though I don't have a mom anymore, but my dad is always proud of me because right now, he feels I brought out his name. Though my dad has never stopped me from playing. It has always been my mom and my elder brothers. But right now, they always use me to tell their friends, that's my sister. Do you know her? That's the Super Falcons. She's my sister. So that alone gives them joy.
The Nigerian team is growing and pushing forward and making a name around the world. It makes me very proud because that in itself is going to inspire a lot of Nigerian women and girls to push in whatever career they decide to find themselves in.
When we actually start to appreciate and understand and use the power of football in Nigeria, it is going to be a huge transformation. We are going to change Nigeria. We can use football. For example, hosting the World Cup in Nigeria would take Nigeria from where it is now, among some of the poorest countries in the world, to where it can be one of the most advanced civilizations in the world because of a football event. We have the resources, we have the passion, we have the followership, we have the energy, we have the creativity, we have the young people who are everywhere, just to channel all of these energies into development, infrastructural development such as has never happened before. New cities, new facilities, health facilities everywhere. We could actually change Nigeria through football, but we don't know it yet. When we do, wow, Nigeria will be a great, great country indeed.
If people do not believe in you and you don't believe in yourself, then it's impossible for you to make it, But if they don't believe in you, but you believe in yourself and keep working hard, I think the sky is the limit.